up nicely. It's the Drew and Fuse Show. The Drew and Fuse Show. The Drew and Fuse Show. Yeah, they clean up nicely. Yeah.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to 2023.
2023 is officially here.
It's the Jordan year. It's the Jordan year. You might have saw that leak out on our Instagram, and that we were just gonna sit here and count our rings, you know.
We are going to count our rings. What rings would those be exactly? Is that just like guest count, or what kind of count is that? Are we going for on that?
I don't really know. I don't know what rings I'm counting at this point. I got nothing. I have no rings. I really got nothing. So 2023 is our Jordan year. Drew and I have been building up a lot of things, and we've got a lot going on, some of which you'll soon find out about, I'm sure. Some stuff we're still not ready to talk about quite just yet. I have something that I wanted to talk about, one being goals for 2023. Do you have any goals for 2023?
So me and Fuse Amania are battling. It's the battle, at least this month, until we fall off, because everyone's got to have at least a 1 week resolution, right? We're both attempting a dry January, and I just want to get a bunch of shit in order. This is going to be me getting shit in order year. That includes house, family, basically just about everything that I've just kind of been getting by on. So my goals is to really wrap up my website, and this podcast I want to take to a new level. So lots of goals. I think one at a time.
One at a time for sure. So in case you guys didn't know, this episode is sponsored by Alcoholics Anonymous. If you are drinking too much, find that hotline and make it bling, and they'll help you out. But we are not sponsored by Liquid Death. Still not sponsored by them. I did get a Liquid Death present for Christmas from my mom. It was a toboggan Liquid Death hat. So shout out to moms for the Liquid Death hat. I can wear mine to Bengals games and have a little orange in my life out of the blackness that I normally wear. This hat is the only thing I think that I don't wear. Only non-Reds hat that I own that I wear, and it was only because we got it out in SD when I was there.
What are your goals?
Oh, well, my goal, I have a couple. I want to be back being healthy, and as far as being healthy, my idea of what's healthy is probably a little bit different than other people. For me, it's just more of a routine, and that's what I think being healthy means. For me, I don't eat like gluttonous typically anyway. I might eat bad food, but I don't eat a lot of it when I do. So for me, it's not necessarily so much diet. Obviously, I want to cut out, I've indulged a little too much in like soda and stuff, but I still don't drink that kind of stuff like every day typically in my normal day. But for me, it's about routine and waking up. I want to lift more because you feel good when you're lifting, but for me, it's more of cardio. And if I could do 35 to 45 or 30 to 45 minutes of cardio about 5 times a week, that's when I'm like at my best. I feel like I'm in shape. I feel good. I have tons more energy. That energy that you have when you're working out is real. Like I feel like a slug right now, and that's my goal, is just to be more of a routine. And
wait, hold up. Let's dive into this because I need a new morning routine. So what's your morning routine? You get up, don't look at your phone. Something I'm already doing is I already put all those social media apps off my home screen. They're buried in a folder somewhere.
Well, right now, this is how when I get up it looks. So, I'm working out, though, it doesn't look like that. It looks pretty and happy, and I'm whistling tunes of joy while, making coffee and a morning bagel. I'm like,
so the first alarm, you get off of one alarm?
Most of the time, I don't even, I have like a pretty good internal clock. I'm weird like that. If I know something's going on at a certain time, I'm usually up right away. Obviously, I set an alarm still, but usually I'm pretty good about being right, I'm up, I'm up, I'm up. So I've always been pretty good about that.
All right, I'm making a note. I'm deleting all my alarms. So one alarm, and that's it. Up and at 'em at one alarm.
Yeah,
I'm,
dude.
I'm changing it.
See,
One
setting
alarm.
multiple alarms like that just allows yourself to be a bigger POS because you're just like, hey, I already know in my head that I set 3 others, so I just gotta wait for that
All right.
third. Just get up and get moving. Just do it.
Yeah, I think
That's the
a lot
time.
of I do multiple. I have to get up. I have to take my kid to school, and she's on me, so I have to get up. The reason I do it is because I think I'm such a deep sleeper. When I am, is I just keep hitting snooze, and I'll just go right back to bed. So
Can't do
that's
it.
why I
Yep.
think I've done it. But yeah, cut it. I'm doing it. One alarm done.
One
All
alarm.
right.
So
So that's our first goal, first morning things. One alarm, and then
so
what do you do?
usually I just go ahead and make a cup of coffee and eat something because I notice with myself that if I start to wait too long to eat something, if I don't like force myself to eat something, it just drags out that lazy, tired feeling. And then I'm like sitting there 2 hours later, like, I need to get up and get going. So, like, it's instantly make coffee, instantly eat something. For me, again, I think you should do what works best for you and whatever you find that works for you. For me, I just make like a bagel and put like peanut butter or cream cheese, even. Again, that's not like a healthy thing, but if you're only eating that in the morning and then you're waiting till lunch, for me, that's what works. So then I usually try to basically get kind of ready and go for a run or go to the gym or whatever. That's me
This
at
is a
my best
daily.
when I'm in. Yeah, if I'm in my good routine, that is the daily. That is what I want to do. And then
All right.
as soon as I get back from a run or gym, it's shower and get shit done. Telling you, when I feel anybody who works out can tell you the same thing too. That if you're doing that, you're gonna feel so much more energy. You're gonna feel so much better. And then obviously, the more you're working out, the more you start eating healthy. That's gonna help too.
So not only is this the Jordan year, this is also Oprah season 3 where she loses all of her weight and she starts giving away cars and she's
Yeah.
running around. She's got energy.
Hey,
we're we're gonna start be giving some more shit away. Is that what you're saying?
maybe if I'm feeling better and feeling I'm probably going to be working harder, making more money, willing to just give it to other people,
All right, so let's
maybe.
clip this for June.
Where I'm like,
Clip,
"Oh god, I hate that life."
clip the
I didn't
segment
do
for
anything.
June.
But so the other thing we're doing is the Biggest Loser, so I weighed in on the scale this morning. For those listening, I'm 6'1" and 239 pounds. So my
It's a
goal is to
big
get back to
bitch.
200. I'm fat right now.
Same goal. And I don't know if we have a date set on this one, but I am 232, 5'10, and I'm pushing for 200 as well. So I'll
That's
probably
like
have to go a little bit lower since you're a little bit more.
is that like an Allen Iverson 5'10" where he's like kind of 5'9", but he's saying he's 5'10"? Or what is that?
I'm not that short, dude.
Is
I
it
am
the
5'10.
is it the true? I don't know
Yeah, I
about
was
that one.
solid 5'10.
All right, I think I'm gonna need the guests to comment if we think Drew is a solid 5'10" or an Allen Iverson 5'10". So the guests will decide, and we'll get back to you on that one. Dude, that's like for real though. Would you ever watch basketball games and they'd be like, and standing in at 6'1" is Allen Iverson, and he would come running out, and he's like fucking this big. I'm like, there's no way that guy is 6'1". And then it was like actual height's 5'10". It's like they gave him 3 inches, 3 inches. I mean, I know those Reebok heels he wore for like because I got a pair. I put those on. Those are like high heels for men. I feel so big. I'm walking around like, look how tall I am.
I am not shorter than that. I'm definitely at least 5'10. I would have said 5'11 if I was trying to push it.
All right, we'll see about that. We'll see. So,
So we got our morning routine. We got our diet battle. When are these dates set? This is January 3rd. We're recording this. So what's the date? What's the final weigh in? When's the final verdict?
so the final weigh in for the Biggest Loser competition is just a month away from today, or so we'll do February 3rd. Will be the the weigh-in. Because of the
Okay.
way the things fell, Drew and I just decided to make today, January 3rd, the first day of when this starts, because the weekends were crazy and it's just family time and all that. So yeah, so February 3rd will be the official weigh-in. Doing a dry January with a chance of showers. So there might be the occasional where I have to partake in tasting a beverage because somebody else wanted me to.
Yeah,
But
of course.
for the most part, my goal is to just stop on the weekends altogether, like when I'm DJing. And I kind of have done that mostly. I might have 2 to 3 drinks still when I'm DJing, but I just kind of want to get it to 0 because it doesn't matter at that point. I don't feel that it does anything but make me a little slower the next day. I'm kind of at the point where both of the venues that I'm playing, that nobody, I don't want to say like nobody comes and visits me like in a sad way, like, oh, but like I am just there to like do a job, and I'm kind of cool with that because I don't want to be everybody's drinking buddy anymore, and that's just how I feel.
I do weddings, so I don't even really drink on the weekends when I'm
Yeah.
doing those weddings. It's really just if I do my Wednesday gig, but that's
Yeah,
that's
and
easily a quit.
I think it's one thing. I just kind of want to get back to like where it's like, oh, you drink at social functions that are like social to you, not just like, well, everybody's drinking at this social function I'm DJing, so I might as well drink. Whereas like, for example, might be going to Cleveland on the Martin Luther King that Sunday before to visit some friends, and I might have some drinks that night. But it's like I'm not DJing at all. I'll just be up there hanging out with some friends I haven't seen in a while, and that might be. And then I'm also going to be out in Vegas, so I might have to have a couple drinks out there. I mean, it is Vegas, so we'll see. Other than that, those are like the only 2 things that I have planned for, and I don't really care to drink any other time.
That cuts into you. It affects my dieting, which is why I'm doing it. So I'm doing it for that. So this is where the battle comes in, and it's just something that could be in the back of your mind, whether you're having just a couple social ones or it gets heavy, and then the next day you're eating a lot.
Yeah, and speaking of battling, maybe you're competing in a DJ battle and you need DJ edits. And you know where you can get those edits? On directmusicservice.com. And using the promo code Drew and Fuse Show, that'll get you 30% off your first month of activation. So there you have it. If you need those battle edits, go on there. You might have to customize them to your battle way, but there's a lot of great dope edits exclusive from guys like Danny Diggs, Zillionaire,
Beat down,
Simo, Down, Audio One, Grant,
scooter.
Scooter, yeah, all that good stuff. So make sure you check out Direct Music Service. Also, I don't know if you see, but my beard is looking pretty crispy right now. The hairs
Oh,
are all laying down nice. It smells like afternoon delight because you know what I did? I had a little bit of afternoon delight from Briggs Beard Company this morning while getting ready. Before coming on this podcast, I had to look good for you. You know what I'm saying? We are pushing this YouTube, so we are caring about our appearance over here. If you're just listening, I promise I look pretty right now. And
no, this is what you called it, the drops of Jupiter.
drops of Jupiter all over his face right now. No nitroglycerin at all included in that Briggs beard oil. And if you use promo code DAFS, DAFS, it'll get you 20% off any of your orders. So there you have it. Get your beards looking pretty. I will admit I was sleeping on the beard oil and stuff. So I will say that it really does make a difference when you like put it on. It makes your face not as dry. Like you don't get the dry face flaking all over your black tees that all of us DJs wear, which is just kind of gross anyway. You look down, you're like, oh shit, that's from me.
I gifted it to a homie, and I was hanging out with him over this weekend, and I said, "Are you using that beard oil? Because your beard looks crispy today." And he goes, "Oh, I meant to tell you." He's like, "I love it." He's like, "It's totally cut down on all my stray hairs," and so that's from another user. I have been loving it. Get tons of compliments.
It's just one of those things where it's like just another thing, but I think now that I'm like hooked to it, that I'll definitely be buying more. I gifted some to my brother. I bought him a pack and sent it up to him for Christmas, and he told me the same thing, that he's been loving it too. So yeah, I think you guys should check it out if you got beards. It's also, like Briggs said, even if you don't, like, it's good for your skin to wear it on there. I'll admit I put on anti-wrinkle cream like every night. That's how I stay looking so
That's how
young.
you say crispy.
Yeah, drops of Jupiter, anti-wrinkle cream. I put it on every night, but it's important in this business to stay youthful, whether that's appearance or dress or with music, staying hip to what's youthful. I think it's an important part of what we do and so I'm not afraid to admit that I use that stuff, and I think it's important. And my age, I get it all the time where people are like, "Oh my god, I didn't know you were that old." And I go, "I know I act really young too and stupid." So that does help. But
Our other sponsor is Club Cannon. Turn your party up to an 11. Get that Club Cannon. This is a perfect year. It's time to buy some new shit, up your game, and get on that Club Cannon. I got this awesome picture. I got tagged in this awesome picture with the couple behind the booth. I'll hopefully post it here soon if the photographer can step up and send it to me. But it definitely turns your parties up to an 11. Speaking of all of these sponsorships we got, we have some new ones. This is the new year, so we're hoping to get some new ones coming for you guys. We're aiming for an Anchor sponsorship. So if you guys are out there, we're looking for that Anchor sponsorship.
We need the Anchor plug. Anybody who might have a connect to get us that Anchor sponsorship, or maybe even something equivalent. We both are fans of Anchor products. We use them all the time. We're looking for new stuff. Speaking of that too, we're going to be starting a Patreon this year. We were going to go with OnlyFans, but we decided that Patreon is definitely more of the move for us. And we had a couple questions for you guys, the listeners, today. And one is, what would you like to see on Patreon? Obviously, we're going to be putting some edits on there. Obviously, we're going to be putting some set lists and stuff. But aside from that kind of stuff, what else would you like? Would you be interested on one-on-one chats, for 30 minutes or to an hour, up to an hour? Is that something that you would be interested in? I would say used underwear, but I don't think Patreon allows that. We would have had to use the OnlyFans.
We're thinking P breaks, exclusive custom edits. We're thinking playlists. I do tons of custom wedding playlists that I would show you guys my cocktail playlists and lace you guys up with that. We're thinking custom video edits.
Yeah.
We got lots of ideas we're toying with. So if you guys want to see that come up, DM us what you want in that Patreon. We're going to be launching that here shortly.
Totally. Yeah, we make a ton of edits. Obviously, like we already mentioned, a lot of the edits go up on DMS. There's a lot of edits that are personal to us that we don't put up on DMS too. Like, for example, it was just New Year's Eve this past weekend. I probably made 5 to 10 edits, just real quick, of stuff that I wanted to play that night that didn't go up on the site. So those are what I and Drew call personal edits. They're just ways that we play the song, how we get it and out of them. And we would be putting stuff like that up there as well. So yeah, if you guys think of something that we haven't mentioned or what you would like, just let us know. We're really, really interested in hearing that feedback of what you would like to see on a service like that from us.
And for the new year, we're also going to be doing one of our goals, to jump back on the goals. We're all around on this podcast, but one of the goals that we have for the show is to do some live podcasts and some live episodes in your city. So if you're interested, you want to somehow pull together a live episode, we're going to be doing those in different cities. Also, probably setting up a show to be playing in that city as well. So that's to come.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal of what Drew and I talked about with doing the live podcast is we would love to set it up in a way where any DJ who's in town that wants to come out to the live podcast will do like a recording, and then later that night we play somewhere, and maybe it's the same venue. Maybe and we do the recording earlier in the day. We break and go get dinner and whatever, and then we do the venue that night. But that's something we've been in talks with each other and other places already too, of how we want to go about doing that. So if that's something you'd be interested in doing, obviously please let us know as well.
And one of the first ones that we are going to do is at the Mobile Entertainment Expo at MEX coming up here in February in Vegas. So if you're going to be in town, let us know. We're working on, a little surprise pop-up, if you will. So hit us up for that. If you're going to be in town, we want to know. Let us know.
Yeah. So let's see. What else do we want to talk about today? We got the Serato stems out, and we got also a beta version of Stemverter 3 from Seaflow. One, I have been playing with the stems a little bit. It's cool. I don't know if it's going to change the way I DJ that much in terms of just how I play. I do like it. I have to play with it more. I've been moving and had a ton going on in the last few weeks since the release. We had SantaCon that weekend here that Serato released it, and I've had a ton of big events that I'm like, you know what, it's not really worth it for me to download this yet and have something potentially happen. And, you know, I have all these big gigs coming up. But what I will say is I have got to mess with Stemverter 3 a lot, and I really, really, really like the way that some of those acapellas have came out. On that, it's a big jump forward for that program and for C-Flow, and I can't wait to see the final release because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I've been pulling some drums just to make some intros and whatnot, and the drums are sounding super crispy on that Stemverter 3. I actually just downloaded Serato stems yesterday because the same thing. I've just been way too busy, so I need to set up the controller in the office and kind of fuck with that. But Stemverter 3 beta version, it's coming out. Stay tuned for that. We're gonna have C-Flow on here hopefully once that launches, and it is looking really good. It's a big upgrade for sure.
Yeah, he's busy making hot sauce and he can't come on the show recently. I mean, his schedule's too busy for us. He's making too much hot sauce and obviously Stemverters, and you know, he can't make it on. But we're gonna get him on soon, and it'll be a highly entertaining episode, I guarantee it.
Guarantee.
So anyway, the other thing we wanted to talk today is music. We're gonna talk a little bit about 2022, the music that came out and stuff that was trending. I just got to say, I think 2022 was probably the worst year for music in a long time that I can remember.
Facts.
I just think it was awful, and not there's some good house songs that came out and some cool trendy songs, but as far as pop music / hip hop in general, I just think that it was not a good year for music. Now, I know we're going to get people that are going to message us and disagree, but
they're going to say, opinion. And Fuse, you forgot about that Ed Sheeran banger that came out. Why are you hating?
And I'm going to say, this is my show, motherfucker, and I get to say what I want about the music.
Well, we're going to do a pretty in-depth music review here, and we have the DMS countdown, but I got to say, what Fuse just said is 2022 sucked, and we got some honorable mentions in there, but for the most part, the top 10 is just whack.
Yeah, and you know, it's all stuff that, like, the top 10 is just stuff that you would think got downloaded, you know, like obvious stuff. Like, obviously you're gonna download the new Drake song. It's just obvious that you're gonna download
First
that.
Class, Lizzo, About Damn Time, Do It To It. These are all songs that we're all playing regularly. I mean, because we're definitely begging in there. And I think I was listening to the Road podcast, and shout out to them. They just had their music episode, and they said it best: is shouts to all of the editors that really just helped us get through this year and have a really dope year still by making all these custom edits and all the pulls just coming together and really making some dope shit. I think that helped this year get by for sure.
Yeah. As far as songs for this year, we were looking up Billboard, what their top songs were for the year. And this is what makes me say that music sucked for 2022, because Steve Lacy, Bad Habit is the #1 song they have listed for 2022. I don't know about you guys, but Steve Lacy, Bad Habit just ain't it for me.
It sounds so out of tune for me. I can't help it. It just sounds an awful song. My kid loved it though, so
yeah, it was about the lyrics, Dad. The lyrics.
Yeah, it's the lyrics.
They're powerful.
They touch my soul.
The next song Billboard has, and I'm going to agree with this one a little bit. I wouldn't have it at #2, but I think it was a great song, and it was a Beyonce, Break My Soul. If you know me, you know that I'm not a Beyonce fan, and I just really liked and enjoyed that song. I thought that album was refreshing in terms of a Beyonce album. Obviously, it's a little more up tempo, which I'm probably a little more partial to. But
you know, Cuff It does so much better for every time I play it.
Too. I like that track. I mean, those are Break My Soul is like if I'm playing it, it's very early in the night for me. That's when I play it. So I don't want you guys out there being like, wow, you play that song prime time, because the answer is no, I don't. And
I played Cuff It at weddings lately. It's
Cuff It's
it gets
good.
requests.
Yeah, and then number 3, which is another song that I loved, it didn't light up my dance floor. I might have played it from time to time. It's Harry Styles, As It Was.
As it was. I like that whole album.
Dude, which makes me think there's this guy on TikTok, and he just films himself, playing Call of Duty, and all he does in Call of Duty though is drive a car around, and he just drives around in Call of Duty, and he's got like the steering wheel hooked up, and he just like sings whatever song. And I just saw one of him the other day, and he was singing As It Was, and I just thought it was like the funniest shit ever, because he's like, it's just so dumb. I actually like that song. I like Harry Styles. I think he's really, really good. I know he's a heartthrob, but I think he's very, very talented. And if you haven't seen it, there's a video of him doing his cover of Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer on the Howard Stern Show on YouTube. And while you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button to the Drew and Few Show. You should check that out because it's awesome.
I wish I didn't hate that song, but it is a great cover. But I still hate that song.
And he's a very musically talented guy. I just think that, because he was from One Direction, a lot of guys don't give him the credit that he deserves. But I think he's great. I liked that song As It Was. I think it was great. The next song on the Billboard Top 10 of 2022 is Lizzo, About Damn Time, which I could take or leave Lizzo, but I really enjoyed the Purple Disco Machine remix of that song. So I think that is pretty fitting that it's in the top 10 of what I would like to call shit songs that came out in 2022. But
I chopped an edit to where I'm playing a lot faster, but I just do hook, Purple Disco Machine only, but then the hook into the rap, hook out.
Okay, that makes sense. It's about damn time you made that edit. So next at number 5 is Taylor Swift, Anti-Hero, which Anti-Hero might have been the most anticlimactic album that's came out in a long time for me, because I don't think the hype was that real of that album. Again, I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan. I don't hate her like everybody else. I don't love that song.
I just need a good version of it. I actually have seen a handful, but
the Kungs is the one that I play. The Kungs
one? Oh, okay. I need to download that.
That's at like 118.
I'm not against playing that.
And again, if I do play that song, it's like more earlier in my night at the bar. I don't play it at the club really at all.
There's lots of Swifties out there.
There are lots of Swifties. The next song is your favorite, Bad Bunny. Titi Mi Pregunto, I think is how you say it. I don't know.
Easily the biggest song of the night, of the year, right?
I would say that that's probably one of the top biggest songs, top 2 or 3 that's come out of the year for sure.
I'm surprised it's that low on the list.
Which is crazy to me too, because this is Billboard we're looking at, and Spotify coined him as the number 1 artist listened to of all of 2022 on Spotify. So
I'm sure. And now that he's throwing everyone's phones as he's walking around, does that make him your anti-hero?
He's kind of becoming my hero. I love it because he's like hating it, and I thank God somebody needed to do something about it. Stop shoving your phones in our face. Jeez. I mean, there's nothing worse than when you're like you're not looking at somebody too, and then they're just like, and you're like, oh, okay, got it. You're standing there, cool. You couldn't wait till I just like looked away from the computer, because I actually do look up when I DJ from the computer, unlike a lot of DJs. You just got to look up sometimes and see what's going on in the room. So yeah, Bad Bunny. That was the number 6. The next, which this one is so weird to me, the Kendrick Lamar N95.
It wasn't a club track, but I could see that. It was one of the bigger hip hop albums of the year, but that was the most listenable song on that whole album.
The next song, I'm gonna butcher this, is Rosalia Soko. I don't know. Seiko. I don't know. It was a Daddy Yankee sample. I'm not familiar with that song, so I have nothing to add.
Nothing.
The next is Thames Free Mind. Again, don't know that one. Have nothing to add. It's an Afrobeat song, I think, though. I know Afrobeats is big right now. Just in my location where I'm at, I'm not playing a lot of Afrobeats too much. So that's something that I would say I am not well versed in. So I can't really comment.
I'm building my collection. I got a decent collection going, but I don't know them off the top. It's just I have to go to that playlist.
The next on Billboard here is Dove Cameron Boyfriend, and I don't know that one at all. The next was number 11, and it's We Don't Talk About Bruno, which is like, we're not going to even talk about Bruno. We're going to go next. Glorilla, Cardi B, Tomorrow 2. That's at number 12. SCA Shirt. Is it SCA or you say SZA?
SZA.
Is it SZA?
Yeah, SZA. That's my daughter's favorite chick, right? SZA.
Yeah. So
she's got tracks, dude. She's actually number 1 right now on Spotify. Kill Bill.
I'll have to look into a little more. I've got stuff with her that I play, but it's like just a feature, so I need to look at some of her other stuff.
Very R&B.
Next is Future and Drake, Wait For You. I actually like that song a lot. It's not a big song for me in a bar or club. I personally liked that song a lot, though. I thought it was cool, more vibey. Next is Beyonce Cuff It, which we already mentioned. And that's at number 15. Then Sam Smith and Kim Petras, Unholy, which I played that Cheyenne Giles remix. We had Cheyenne on the show. That remix is just the one for me at the bar and the club. It's very aggressive house, but I think everybody, when I play it, somebody always comes up and goes, what remix is that? What remix is that? So
Shout
that's how
out
you
to
know.
Cheyenne. Killing it.
Next is Doja Cat, Woman. I played that song a lot early in my sets. I think it's a good one. Good vibey set.
Pete Down did a little redrum of it. I play.
JoJoy, Glimpse of Us. Don't know that track. Wet Leg, Wet Dream at 19. It's a UK indie group. Not familiar. And then number 20 on here is Harry Styles, Music for a Sushi Restaurant, which
that charted that high. Maybe
this is just
the number 1 track on album, and I think everyone just hits play on that album. That's my guess.
Yeah, I just think that 2022 was just such an awful year for music, because even scrolling through this list, past Harry Styles here, Music for a Sushi Restaurant, Gunna and Future featuring Young Thug, Push and P, which that song just falls flat anytime I play it anymore. It's like nobody cares. The 1975 Happiness, then Jack Harlow, First Class at 26, which I feel like was a way bigger song than a lot of these songs mentioned, but
at the beginning of the year, but
I mean, it falls flat kind of now. I would rather just play Glamorous and just play the actual Fergie song.
One of the top downloads that we didn't mention, but did that remix. It was a little mashup with the disco track, First Class versus Got to Be Real, Mamba's disco blend.
Oh, that's a good one.
I play that one. I get great compliments every time I play that. People are like, "What is that?" So
yeah, that was
on the top download. That was a great one over there on the direct music service. Well, the Billboard is never the same as what we're actually playing in the club. You guys should know that. You use it as a reference. I would like to lead into is going to be a new thing that we're going to be doing regularly is music episodes with guests. So that's going to be something we're looking into. If you guys really have any ideas or any suggestions on what you want to hear, do you want to just change it up and do segments? I don't know.
Yeah, more segments, more music episodes. We tried to only really do music episodes quarterly, because we try to get more guests on and talk about the guests, and we try to keep it very balanced of wedding, event, and club. That's one of the things that we're trying to do here. So we know, if you're telling people about the podcast, we appreciate it. And I think one of the good selling points of the podcast would be that, we are club and wedding. We try to hit a bit of both. And we try to keep the guests mixed up in that way too. So with that being said, we do appreciate, everybody that's been following and sharing and commenting, all that stuff. We really appreciate you guys. This is what keeps it going for Drew and I is, the feedback and seeing that people are enjoying it and all of that. We appreciate any voicemails that you want to leave us on the YOLO line, 562-246-YOLO. We have one on there that I got to pull off from somebody. I just noticed it on there. We'll hopefully have that up for next week and be able to play. We appreciate you guys. This is going to be a short episode for us. We just kind of wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about music and, our thoughts on 2022 and,
talk
just
about the
kind of
new
our
year.
plans. Yeah. Our plans moving forward. So I don't have anything else to add. Drew, do you have anything else to add for this episode?
I have shit. All I know is it's a new year, new me, and we're pushing forward. We got lots of big plans for you guys. We want you to stay tuned because there's lots of new things coming up.
It's going to be a good year. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening. We would really, really appreciate feedback on some of the things that we are asking about in this episode. Once again, if you're looking for some beard oil, make sure you hit up Briggs Beard Company and use that promo code DAFS. It'll get you 20% off. Drew and Fuse Show promo code for DMS. It'll get you 30% off. Hit up Club Cannon. Yeah, we appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you rate and review the podcast on iTunes. That really, really does help the show grow. Make sure you're subscribing on YouTube. You're following us on Spotify. Wherever you're listening to us, make sure you're following. We really appreciate it. And of course, if you're listening, throw up a tag on Instagram. We'll repost it. We appreciate all that stuff. It really does help grow the word. If you're feeling generous, give us a share and give us some feedback on what you'd like to see. I think Drew's got that YouTube, or I'm sorry, he's got the DAFS store coming in 2026. It'll be active for all you guys.
Patreon coming on. We actually are doing a lot of stuff for the show. The show is our primary focus this year, so I'm pretty excited for all the new things coming. If you guys got ideas, please just send them in. We're going to be launching some polls here, so get ready. Stay tuned. This is a short one.
Until next week, and we'll bring it back, and we'll have another episode for you guys. So thank you so much. Until
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We'll see you.
All right. Peace.